Last time on Fate Extra Triple C. What do you know? There's an entire ocean under us! A tool for swimming across the entire electronic sea. What the fuck would that be? Like a submarine? I love mapping out floors. It's so entertaining. I gotta finish mapping out. No! Damn it, Karna! Ah! One day, Papa and Mama passed away in an unfortunate accident. I'd given up on life, and given that I was reflecting on my life, I just wanted to run away. You're not alone, Jinako. Consent achieved. We have her tummy! My lady, Leo has summoned you. Going went out of his way to come by. Seems she didn't try to use a signal to call me, but instead waited here in the hallway. Leo sent for me. Does that mean he has some personal business with me? A charming explanation. I do believe it's true. Leo seeks to deepen his friendship with you. But unfortunately, he invited you today in the president's capacity. I was told he bid you come to the student council room. Could have just done that in the message. An emissary to the perilous labyrinth. She's enjoyed her rightful after-meal dose quite enough. So basically he wants me to dash off there immediately and not spare a single millisecond. I got it. Please tell him that, or something similar. That makes things easier. I shall take my leave ahead of you. Excuse me. Okay, so I can talk to Anderson about the second one now. About Ronnie. Ronnie's the only one I haven't talked about. Yes, how dare she be a real person? Meticulous, Well, Ronnie's SG2 is a far outcry from being meticulous, I think. Oh! Ha! Kiara, did you...
急に押し黙ってしまって。
いや、なんでもない。ところで、座布団を1枚やろう。即興にしては素晴らしい切り替え。裸の王様とストーリーキングをかけるとは。くだらん女だと思っていたが見直したぞ。まあ、ダジャレ自体はつまらなかったが。
そんなつもりで口にしたのではありません。今のは事故です。事故。
I don't believe you, slutty nun. Oh, Gatou's back. Miss Tosaka and Ronnie's investigative work has identified important information related to Jinako. Specifically, details about her in the Holy Grail War. Not of her background on Earth, but in the near side of the moon cell. Gatou? Leo brings up the matter in a low tone, contrasts to his usual cheerful ring. Gatou takes over, hand on his chin, nodding. Yes. He's acting considerably normally. It's a real letdown. Hear this! Steadily advancing through the Holy Grail War with my god, we came upon one chance where we won effortlessly, a win by default. His opponent felt like wham right off the shelf was none other than Jinako. She chose defeat without putting up a fight. Yeah, it would have been nice if you remembered that from the beginning. It would have saved me the pain of this process of elimination. Salvaging highly concealed battle data one by one until the very last set. Your fury is warranted, but if you asked a judge if they wanted to know the loser's name, they'd reply there's no need. There's no need to override shame with shame. In any case, Jinako and I were, by nature, incompatible comrades. Leo and Rin supply me with further information. In the opening of the near-sized Holy Grail War, Jinako discovered the protected or locked janitor's closet. The old school janitor closet may have a different vibe, but it's the very same shelter Jinako took. Jinako didn't lose in a battle between masters. She hid in the janitor's closet without ever taking to the battlefield. I was right. Even if she were to have taken even one step outside the custodial room, Munso would deem her as defeated and delete her. Hence why Jinako was unable to leave and shut herself in the janitor's closet the entire time. Still, when the Holy Grail War closes, once the victors proclaim, the school building will end up being collected as a garbage object. Naturally, the janitor's closet Jinako is hiding in will also be deleted. In other words, Jinako didn't die fighting in the Holy Grail War, but her fate is to be deleted once the Holy Grail War ends. Fuck! Like, somehow that's even worse! Oh my god! Oh, fuck, man! Yeah, that's like insanely worse, yeah. Panic struck Jinako once the memory of that returned and she ran away from us. We recovered the cube from Passion Lip and regained our memories, although it did leave everyone considerably confused. It resulted in Jinako Karigiri driving herself further into her corner. EB seized that opportunity. Who are we supposed to blame here? Turn to the near side only means death. Having recalled that memory, Jinako probably didn't have the willpower to defy BB. At the time when she recovered that memory, Jinako must certainly have known that I, Monji Gatou, was her original opponent. Why does she distance herself from her unsolvable problem, even if it is postponed? Her actions are baffling. Her optimism is as brittle as sculpted candy, and her escapism is as useful as burying her head in the sand. Oh, is that so? I'm sure it appears that way to you, Treasurer Ronnie, but that's not being very human, is it? If we declare that being swept along by instinctive urges and idleness is what human nature is, then stray cats are quite human. Nothing wrong with stray cats. They're the ultimate life forms in a sense. Such gods exist too. I don't want to agree with him, but I do. Cats are as gods. Gatou and Rani's conflicting exchange continues. Suddenly, Jinako's pained expression from her SG loneliness was, when her loneliness was released, pops into my mind. If only I had gotten to know her back in the Holy Grail War. I mean, it's not like you would if she hid in the closet the whole time. Her own point in thinking about what ifs now, but I wonder if having friends by her side would have changed something. Maybe. Sakura is reporting that the 12th floor has been activated. Once you're ready, continue your exploration and SG retrieval. Jinako Karigiri is the Labyrinth Sentinel. Nevertheless, she's one of our allies, who also desires to escape. No, she doesn't! Leo, you know that she does not want to leave! I won't tell you to be peaceful anymore. I don't see it unseemingly to injure one another. That said, Hakuno, I believe you'll be the one to break this absurd spiral of us having to hunt our allies to continue forward. Oh, our first round was against Monji. Yeah. Hey, there's something that's been bothering me. You have a second? It's about Kiara Sashoin. Out of curiosity, I had Rani look into her. Presently, she is also a master who sustains a servant. That and... We have nothing to be concerned about. It is true that the Western financial conglomerates went after her. The conglomerates went after her? So Kiara is an enemy of the conglomerates. Is she a freelance hacker like Rin is? No, she doesn't oppose anyone. Though the only data we have comes from what we dug up here. Can you please, Ronnie? Yes, starting from the conclusion, she's a cybercriminal wanted by Interpol. At one point, she was leader of a religious cyber cult. It no longer exists, though. How am I not surprised that the slutty nun was like the leader of a religious cyber cult? And well, all the men and women in it idolized her so much that they committed suicide. Dear Christ! People who were smitten with her, people with a thing for being abused by her, people hooked on conversing with her, people who detested her to death, people who went crazy over her body, a lot of different folks. The end results were all the same, suicide. Even outside the internet, most of the people who associated with her committed suicide. That's weird. That's weird. Well, here's the thing. There was little to no information on Gatou's servant. Gatou gave out information on his servant because he's stupid. In like the original game, so... Included among them were even cyber investigators and spies from conglomerates that had chased her around. What's astonishing is that apparently one spy died in order to save her from adherents who were out to kill her. According to these documents, the person was apparently her lover. According to Julius, that person was a misanthrope who didn't seem particularly interested in women. Personally, I can't comprehend Kiara Sashoin's cognitive structure. She's too much of an enigma. She saved many people, but each one of them trampled on her goodwill. She was betrayed by others over and over again, yet she didn't abandon her goal of bringing salvation. Or rather, it makes me think that she's fine with being betrayed. You could say she has an indomitable spirit, but in her case, it goes much too far. I may not be the one to say this, but it's as if she's a machine devoid of emotions. I think so too. It's like she's obsessed with being a hero of justice, or something. She's even been called the last saint. One thing's for sure, she's the biggest victim. It's also true that she's the cause of mass suicide and conflict. Thus, with backing from the conglomerate, she was added to the world's most wanted list. Though some came to her legal defense, the conglomerates had backing from the Holy Church. That lot hasn't been able to put out a saint in years. A woman emerges, is treated as a saint in the East, and disregards their group. Guess they couldn't let that one slip. You're being biased, Miss Tosaka. Kiara Sesshoin was clearly a modern-day saint, even by the church. The problem is that the person who started insisting on that was a church cardinal, and a candidate for the next papacy. The Holy Church didn't try to apprehend Kiara because she was some thorn in their side. They recognized her as the highest class of threat to the preservation of their faith. They're being way more vicious than they need to be. What about Kiara's virtue? I think it would be called magical powers at this point. She's even able to free an elderly man on the brink of death and obsessed with prolonging his life from that suffering. What I found astonishing was, after that elderly man experienced her teachings, he became an impeccable person. It was only for a brief time, just 2 months, that he was in contact with Kiara Sesshoin, but his nature truly became that of a saint. That resulted in the church going after him. She was betrayed by her faith and many people and was denounced as a murderer. Okay, we're taking the wrong route by bringing Earth Affairs into the Moon Cell. She's still a cyber criminal, Miss Tosaka. Well, yeah, I mean, I partially agree. I think Kiara is different. That girl there is an airhead. She has no clue how much she drives everyone around her insane. I don't know. I feel like it's an act. The nickname she got stuck with, the devilish Bodhisattva, really sums her up. Why is that, Hakuno? We know she's being misrepresented, but we deem that it's best to err on the side of caution. Please refrain from making unnecessary contact with her from now on. You know, when I'm told that, it makes me really want to go talk to her. You don't think Kiara is evil or bad? Yeah, but a bunch of people committed suicide, quote-unquote, because of her. She's horny. She is, yes. I find Kiara and Anderson in the hallway. I recall what Rin told me about Kiara's background. I was a little hesitant, but I tried asking her about whether or not it was true. If all the adherents connected to Kiara killed themselves, I don't think this willowy woman would be in the middle of such a maelstrom of death. Yes, everything those girls spoke of is true. What I thought or what my goals were was irrelevant to the people. The only thing left in my hands was the outcome. The lives of many people were consumed by my own avarice. However, pardon me, now suddenly I'm wondering if I committed a crime. Yes, you did! Carol looks puzzled, as if miserable from the bottom of her heart. Her expression makes me think of a terrifically beautiful and fleeting Heaven Lotus. They loved me by their own will, became despaired by their actions, and at the end of their love ended their lives. There was no bloodlust in them to be found. They simply drowned in me. They were committed to the desires and wasted their lives out of that lust. I love all people I love all people equally, and I want to be loved. That's what I crave. I can't help it. I'm selfish. You are the slutty nun. She is the slutty nun trademark. That's why I can never belong to one person. They went insane, as if despairing from that truth, as if craving and lusting insatiably for me. As a result, they ended their lives. How could anyone rebuke such a devoted love? I wanted to save them. They wanted me to save them. In the end, I died. That's all there is to it. Saying that, she smiles, sorrowfully, with such beauty that anyone who saw it would be touched. Goosebumps jolt all across my body. This here is a good woman, completely benevolent. Ah! I don't know about that. She seems indifferent to the fact that they're dead because of how much they fawned over her, which is really creepy. That's why I find it difficult to consider her human in terms of mentality. As a religious leader, Kiara treated many people impartially and lavished them with love. That resulted in those adherents becoming swollen with desire. Can it be considered a crime? Technically, she did not do anything. It can, yes, because here's the thing. Let's say that 3 people are in love with me. Like, they love me, but I don't have any romantic love for any of them. So I let them down easy. You know, or at least what I think is easy. You know, like I try to be like, I care about you, but not in that way sort of thing. Then they all commit suicide. Let's say that happened. That would be a lesson to me. That would be a lesson that, you know, maybe I should do things different. Interact with people differently to prevent that outcome from happening. But for Kiara, it's like 3 people committed suicide, then 6 people came to her. She didn't change whatsoever, so then 6 people committed suicide. So then 9 people came to her, 9 people committed suicide. She did nothing to change the outcome, knowing more than likely what would happen. Just because it's not technically, like, you know, a crime, doesn't mean you're not guilty. Like, this is why things like manslaughter or I can't remember what the term is, but it's like there is an actual crime where, like, choosing through inaction someone dies. Because, you know, like, for example, if I walk by someone who is choking and they have their inhaler next to them and they're trying to reach for their inhaler, by me choosing to walk away from that person, I chose to essentially let them die. That in and of itself is actually a crime. Yeah, it can be argued in court and everything like that, sure. But through my inaction, I knew there was a strong chance that someone could die. Same thing for her. Even though she technically hasn't committed a crime, she hasn't changed at all. And knowing that the outcome will more than likely be suicide or death for a lot of her followers, she still refuses to change because she believes she's doing the right thing. I beg you, I want you to love only me. More and more, I want endless love from you. Yeah, no, exactly. Same, but if 20 people interact with me and all of them die after doing so, I would suspect something even if I don't do anything. Yeah, but Kiara doesn't. It's death by charisma. And it's terrifying. She has enough charisma that people who can't get what they want from her would rather die. And you could say, oh, that's not her fault, that's just who she is. Yes, but she does nothing to stop that. And by choosing to do nothing to stop it, she is just as guilty of murdering them. But that wasn't allowed. As a consequence of treating everyone equally, Kiara Sashoin possessed no love toward individuals. And then their practically immolating desire was just how they literally were destroyed. Because they went and recognized Kiara as a saint, they became aware of their essentially salvationless reality and despaired. Terrible irony. They probably could have returned to their lives if they distanced themselves from Kiara. But perhaps because they had known this almost bodhisattva love, they couldn't leave the palm of her hand. I apologize. I understand your argument, but I don't intend on stopping. See? See? She's literally guilty! Even a person like me has convictions that can't be conceded. My life cannot end just yet. For now, please don't be concerned with my affairs. Please focus on defeating BB and return to the Holy Grail War. And after, if a time comes when we face each other as masters in the Holy Grail War, then charge me with my sin. Okay, so if you're saying if I fought you, like, you know, master to master, servant to servant, it'd be okay to kill you? I'm fine with that. I thought she was, like, what I like is that, and again, I told you this before, Senpai. I love the fact that a character that I thought of as nothing more than the slutty nun, comic relief, has a deep maliciousness to her. Like, obviously it doesn't seem intentional, but there is some maliciousness there. And it's enough for me to go, holy shit, you are a lot deeper of a character than I ever thought. If Kiara Sashoin's life deserved to have been lived, or if not. Yes, if it's you, I hope you'll tell me. I hope you'll tell me the answer to whether my Aton school's doctrines were correct or incorrect. I think they were wrong. Tell you right now. Without replying to Kiara's smile, I leave her presence. I've dealt with masters up to this point. She's a master too, throwing herself into battle for the sake of a wish she can't give up. This is heaven's battlefield, a garden of selfishness where wishes are put on the line. So that was probably her wish in the regular Holy Grail War, was that her teachings would be widely accepted or something. I'm certain that Kiara isn't special. Everyone here fights for themselves. Interesting. I wonder why she doesn't have an SG. Or maybe she'll have one later. I don't know. Alright, floor 12. Oh no. Life? Oh no. What the? What is this? Skull and crossbones abruptly appears above my head. This is ominous. Doesn't get more ominous than this. So that there's a countdown to your end, Hakuno. Your death sentence. Jinako's voice echoes through the labyrinth. Just a regular transmission, but it sounds ominous, like she's satisfied with herself. She did say she was going to have her payback. You hear me? Once the number hits 0, you're a goner. No resets allowed. Got it? I warned you. Anything happens, it's your own dang fault. The sentinel of the labyrinth's voice wanes and grows distant. An indescribable gravity lingers in its trail. The number displayed here is ticking down with each passing moment. Is this the time attack floor? No, even if there's a time limit, why are there so many digits? If it's by the second, then we'll have plenty of time. If I go around this poorly, I'll have months. Wait, won't this take years? I already like Kiara, but now she's even better. Curious when the character will be explored, much like Jinako. Well, we need her ability to go in and actually fix. Like, you know, we've needed her up until this point to go inside each of the girls' hearts. So I don't know if we're gonna get her own dungeon, because then who's gonna do that for us? Maybe they'll find a way to artificially do it and she'll be one of the later ones. I don't know. Wait, the number? Wow, you're quite skilled to be able to read numbers over your own head. I want to try writing on your head too. A little bit. I would be fine with that. Crush me with your vagina, please. Yes, all jests aside, that was a jest. Oh, I'm sad now. Oh, digits of death. That's rather morbid. I hate both pain and death. I do too, Saber! Fortunately, those digits are as languid as a sleeping hippopotamus. That said, I'm still reluctant to press on. Saber isn't acting flustered, which distracts you from my apprehension. To be honest, it isn't really that big of a shock to me. Right now, Jinako's state of mind is what has me concerned. Like with Rin and Rani, her mind isn't working to remove foreign invaders, it's working to reject them. Jinako said we'll end up in the same place. I don't know what she's trying to tell me, but I can't leave this lying lonely girl alone. Let's look for Jinako. Let's open the door to the outside. Let's find her hope. Well, but there is no hope for her. Wait, what? Where did the numbers go? That's the thing, though, is like the numbers aren't there anymore. That's a Jinako original, the loop-de-loop warp. Go ahead and waste your count on elements of the labyrinth that no one asked for.
まだ焦る時間ではありません。着実に攻略を進めていきましょう。良い声で鳴かせてやる。始めるぞ。
I mean, honestly, I see Kiara kind of as the same as, like, a lot of other characters in the Fate universe. I like this called this pariah. I call them the hungry hippos with teeth. Because that's what they look like. Ow! No! Yeah! Yeah! Damn! Yeah! What am I doing? Ow! Yeah! 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 Ah, I had a feeling. Masticator. Oh. I don't know if I want to call it that. Alright, I wanted to check my stats. Still D? Want them to go up to C at least. Yay! Yeah! Hiya! Ow! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Gotcha! Ow! Ha! I killed you! You're dead, bitch! Okay. I think that special box over there might be what I need to give to Taiga. Because this is the last floor, and I didn't find it on any of the others, so... Gotta be here somewhere. Ow! You bitch! I fear you not, dog bull! Exciting swim set. Wait, that's the item the Taiga asked for? But I thought she wanted like a submarine! Well, that's kind of disappointing. Where is this? Where does this go? Oh, this was like way at the beginning. Oh! Hey, I do it! After egressing from the labyrinth's cemetery, we saw a room. In that room is Jinako, all alone. Saber surveys the area, but Launcher is nowhere to be found. We unexpectedly arrived at our destination, yet again, very quickly. Or not? Path continues further past here. And you've reached the goal. Good job. I'll tell you something as a reward. The SG for this labyrinth is the curse of death. Without hesitation, she says something outrageous. A hard time. Barely had time to be startled before she continued. I'll let you know something else, too. If you want that SG, someone's gotta die. Give me just a second. Hey, Gatou, can you come to the labyrinth real quick? Yeah, you're really important right now. I really need you. Oh, yeah, he doesn't even ask questions. This is going to be great. Someone has to die? Jinako herself is feigning indifference. Still, after firing her verbal bullets through my heart, she loosened a bundle of grenades on me with that, too. This is inexcusable! I demand you correct that arrogance of yours. A menacing Saber draws closer to the totally defenseless Jinako. This is bad. I get why she's angry, but this is the one shortcut to the end I don't want to take. If we defeat Jinako without obtaining her SG, the entire student council will be trapped in the far side of the moon, and escape will be impossible.
Stop.
This is certainly a condition we can't simply ignore. He said someone must die? But then what happens to Hakuno's countdown? If you impose the burden of the curse of death upon all challengers to the labyrinth? Well, duh. But if you're here to get that SG, you would presumably finish clearing the labyrinth, so the countdown should stop, right? Heck if I know. Anywho, it's simple, yo. No need to sweat the small stuff on this floor. It's the only neat tip tree I gots for you. What? That's not very funny. Like, how we're going to accept a requirement like that? That's right. We can't possibly ignore this. This is a plot by BB, taking advantage of the characteristic of Jinako's SG. No. Gatou, no. No. Like, if he dies, I won't be upset, but at the same time. Yes, Gatou, yes. It just hit me. One can lose a battle, yet win the war. I've got the most genius idea! A roar erupted in as if to shatter the deadly silence. It wasn't a labyrinth signal. It was a live voice reaching our ears, but from where? Old man. It's too noisy, and we're going to relay our signal. It appears that Monji Gatou is visually observing you from the vicinity of the labyrinth's entrance. Huh? How's he doing that? That's incredible. Incredible, but scary. Aye, good work, Treasurer Ronnie. Aye, thank you. that urna on your head isn't just for show. I'll have to report to Hakuno Kishinami now. Unlikely to dial down his volume, Gatou transmissions reaches me. After all the trouble he's been in after warning him, he's trying to tackle the labyrinth alone again without a servant? Sorry to bother you when you're busy, Hakuno Kishinami. Do you hear me? Oh, too loud? Oh, sorry. Actually, I have a super secret strategy this time. I want to modestly instruct you on it so very badly. Basically, you know. I don't really mind this countdown stuff, but those enemies wandering, they're a tad scary. Therefore, it's time for you to answer my summons, like the ever-descending gods of Buddha do for me. I would like for you to return to the entrance post-haste. Come back, Hakuno! I've never heard such a blatantly caustic, confident conversation. I voluntarily meet eyes with Jinako. Jinako was scowling, fed up with it, but soon simply shrugged with disinterest. A sore task. However, see how that grown man supplicates us without shame? Let's turn back, Praetor. Everyone in the student council is likewise speechless, probably unsure of what to make of this. That said, it's not like I myself have a solution, unfortunately. Let's head back to the entrance and meet up with Gatou. A genius plan? What is it, really, Gatou? If it's a stupid plan you took 3 seconds to come up with, I'll turn you into shrimp chili. Oh, that's our famously stubborn hot dogger and microwave everything granny for you. Yes, your concerns are understandable. But believe in me and entrust this to me with the same entitlement as one who rides the Titanic. It's 3 minutes until the iceberg! What? Ah, damn it. Oh, Gatou, why? Let me in! Now Gatou shows up. Looks like he evacuated temporarily. Was he always this wise? No, have this much sense? Good to see you again! I just dropped in myself. Oh, I'm serious. I wasn't waiting, not at all. But hey, Kishinami, I'm the one that called you here, but don't you feel tired? In the manner of Jizo, I shall wait here. Stopping by the old school to prepare isn't a bad choice. Once I make my move, my caustic grand strategy will go off instantly. Explosion! No doubts I'm going in, that kind of thing. If you need to mentally prepare before that, do some shopping or consult President Leo. Or you should go get it all out of the way. Although he is oblivious, Gatou is also capable of thinking about others. I'll think about taking his advice about going back to the old school would be fine. I am gonna go back, but only so I can give Taiga that item. Okay. Thank you, Kishinami. So you brought me a tool to swim across the ocean. Now it'll be a cinch to break through here. I'll give you this as thanks. I found it while excavating inside the school. Please help yourself. It's a lamp. Alright, Tisha's gonna dive off the roof? I'll get in touch with you if I make it. Keep your nose in your textbook until then. It's a box and a lamp. It's actually kind of nice. I like it. I don't think his plan is to hit the timer until it goes away, considering I can't even see the timer. I'm guessing his plan is like, death is required, right? Let's just kill an enemy. Sure. Good, then let our charge commence. I humbly place my humble life in your hands. What? Gatou immediately headed off into the labyrinth. like what a mother cat does. His stride might just pick us up and pull us along by the neck. Hold on, before we go, tell us of the repercussions of and promise of your proposal in words we can understand. And Troy, what is this idea you've invited me to hear? Yes, about that, forgive me. I have no such thing. That was by means, as in to justify my ends. You know, they do say that sometimes the best plan is when you have no plan at all. That's a lie. What the hell is this old man spouting? Does it look that had to be telling jokes, or is he just full of hot air? His statement went so far back that even Shinji, who's not even in the student council room, chimed in. Looks like he was peeking in on us from somewhere. I've dutifully accepted your ire. However, I, Monji Gatou, must use any means necessary to meet Jinako. To do that, I mustn't be occupied with such trivial labyrinth traps and enemies. Hakuno Kishinami, Lady Saber, I apologize, but I request that you indulge my selfishness. Come to the Pessimist Sentinel. We haven't had the leisure to stroll, for the counter above our heads continues to fall. And whose fault is that? Is a question I had no time for as Gatou pushes forward, no ifs, ands, or buts. Not sure what we can do about it. We'll just have to go back the room where Jinako is in. We drag ourselves back to where Jinako is. She even stuck around for us. Jinako looks up at Gatou with a blank stare. Gatou does his thing and plunks himself down on the ground, cross-legged in front of her. At last I was able to meet you in person. Your expression really and truly does look awful. So naggy, man. Planning to lecture me? Or do you just want to prove your worth by showing how helpful you are? Looking for a place to settle in the student council, old man? Ha ha ha! Theorist had no such place where I belonged. Not anywhere. I certainly did run around the world, but the answer I sought was nowhere to be found. Diving into this moon was my last hope. And when I finally met the truth, she said, yeah, there's no answer, and left. Yeah, that's what, that's literally what happened to him is he, like, his servant, became a berserker, and, you know, it was the main heroine of another, Type Moon series, who's, like, she is a vampire, but she's, like, the original race of vampires, not like today's offshoots. So, like, she doesn't require blood to live and everything. She actually finds the idea of drinking blood distasteful. And she truly is immortal. Like, literally, she gets cut into tiny little pieces and she just, like, reconstitutes herself. She's truly immortal. And when he summoned her, since she was a berserker, she was taken over by, like, the madness effect that happens with berserkers. So, even though he thought of her as literally a goddess that would have all the answers, they couldn't communicate. And the original game, when he died, his last words were like begging for her to speak. No, she's planning to come back right away. My wife, my goddess is a merciful one. Really? My waifu? Really? After our single defeat, she unmistakably forgave me by speaking the words, Gatou, get to work. I think she said that. Are you sure you didn't just imagine that? Because I was there, and she did not say anything like that. In fact, she didn't say anything until after you were gone. Well, enough about me. For the time being, let's talk about us humans. I want to hear your voice. That's the plan, having no plan. How can nothing work? He has no plans. Sometimes those are the best plans. Gross, you sideburns creep. Jinako isn't a Christian or a Buddhist. I'm even less interested in offering your sketchy god anything. Not even a single tin of cat food, Dumbo. Precisely now that your creed is desperate, consider praying to my resplendent god. When one door is shut, another window opens, or something like that. If you sincerely object to even that, then try complaining about something. I never fail to clean my ears every morning. I've been telling you, man. There's no such thing as gods. If any sort of gods exists, then it's death, and that's it. The only thing I can believe is heavy, and it's cold enough to make your fingers stick. The touch of death. Praetor? Saber whispers low and glances sideways at me, telling me to check the 5 meditations in my left arm. But I reply by shaking my head. I have yet to sense any indications of her SG. Yeah, there was never any sort of god. That's because God abandoned me. After all, it doesn't matter. No matter where you go in this world, it all belongs to chosen geniuses. Like you, Hakuno. Don't tell me otherwise. Old man, you're a dummy, but you're a genius when it comes to affirming this world, right? But no genius can break this wall. Death is absolute. It treats everyone the same. There's no genius or mediocre beings in death's eyes. There isn't anyone who can't fear death. Which means there's nothing to blame me for. Oh. Well, that's not true. Yeah, it's funny how Jinako doesn't believe in God, but her servant is the son of one. That is true. As a human being, not moving a single step is to be expected. I have to admit, that is true. Jinako Karikiri. Try talking to me about the cause of your rage. I'll absolve you of your sins all in one go. I think that's kind of the point, yeah. I don't get what you mean. A worthless monk saving a totally worthless person doesn't make 1 pixel of sense. Isn't that enough? I don't want to speak another word. You gave me plenty of company. You gave me plenty enough company, right? It's pointless to chase after me. Only death lies ahead. No killing. Just simple death. Hakuno, Gatou, you won't be spared. Not the student council bunch, or the AIs, or the NPCs. No one gets spared. No one. No one! Our destiny here is to disappear into Spiritron foam and disappear. Jinako. Huh? Go! Poofing away again! Hold it, Jinako! Whoa! Wait, Gatou, don't go alone! You will perish! Once again, Jinako slipped away further into the labyrinth. We're losing sight of Gatou now that he's chasing after her. Our problem's doubled out here. There still hasn't been any SG reaction. I wonder if we should really keep going further in. Yeah, we should. Praetor, concern for others is good and fine, but don't forget about the curse suspended over your head. I guess I can sympathize, though. We mustn't leave these two to their own devices, even if together. Greetings, friends! Did you know that I have a Patreon, which will help not only keep the channel alive, but allow me to buy more toys for my cats? And really, that is the most important thing I need the Patreon for. So, join my Patreon today to keep my kitties happy.